out of the red with the trade authority. Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts? Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that? Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at? A fast-growing terramorph. That is concerning. Who exactly told you to bring this to me? Adrian. She gave you this? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt.
Just paid the whole thing off. Hope it's obvious from my current circumstances that that's gonna be a gift, not a loan.
Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinium. It was a city wiped completely off the map by terramorphs. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they looked just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tau Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a species.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now? The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
I think you need to get rid of some of that gear. Entertaining the notion of xeno-warfare angers me to the core. Careful. Low gravity means one wrong step and you could go flying.
Get back to the Sixth Circle ASAP. Someone spilled the beans, huh? Yeah, Hadrian and I. We're both former Xeno warfare. But it's been almost 20 years since the UC cut us loose. Since then, well, I've just been trying to make ends meet. Picking up jobs as a lab tech, a physician, a vet. Not a lot of folks excited to hire someone with a past like mine. Which is why, when the Trade Authority offered to bring me on as a consultant, I leapt at the chance. Guess I should have spent a little more time on that fine print. It's certainly not good. Terramorph attacks don't bother us in our daily lives because they're so infrequent. Londinian was horrible, but it was one rare exception. Another sample, though, gets us one step closer to it becoming the rule. Which means We need to get this information into the right hands as soon as possible. The ultimate sin. I cut him out of a deal. Medicine can get tight on Mars. Mining's plenty dangerous. So I cooked up some meds on the side for an old friend who was running low. Well, that friend told her friends, and before I knew it, I'd become Mars' go-to black market pharmacist. Trade Authority eventually found out and wanted a piece of everything I sold, and then some. It was at that point I decided to take my leave of absence. That's right. UC shuttered it after the war, but I just happened to remember the access codes. Figured no one else was using it. Plus, I knew the security was good enough that the Trade Authority couldn't just come waltzing in the door even if they figured out where I was. So, I set up shop. Lou hooked me up with some supplies when I first came down. Damn good thing he did, too, since once those spacers moved in, I was on my own until you showed.
To Venus? Only one point of Moira's patrol route to work from. That's how it goes sometimes. Goodbye. Hey, stick to targets that shoot back, okay? Do your part to keep Sidonia graffiti-free.
Their own jokes. Like, you aren't funny. Stop it.
Mars is wrapped with resources, which means...
Not everyone needs to come to me. What's your poison? Don't be a stranger. We get a lot of new faces. Plenty. You don't do this. You're right. Now you'd be wise to stick... Everything. It's my belief that you... Plenty. You don't do this. See? Plenty. You don't do this. You don't guess. Mm-hmm.
I could use it.
Hello. How's the saying go? Show no mercy.
We got lots of... Take your time. Cool.
See you around.
The premier supplier of private firearms. But this coveted position.
Is that really her? Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back. Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
Makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the Armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Of course, you deserve the full story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the Armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. All right. I'm gonna go get this workup into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Good work, bartender. Won't be the last time you'll be hustling information in some spaceport.
Workday is not an officially sanctioned holiday, and that it is not advised to allow children into potentially dangerous work sites.
Was that Percival walking through there?
Keep them out of harm's way. Thank you from the Civilian Department of Labor.
Power, prestige, money. As a member of the Ryujin family, you can have it all.
In order to avoid injuries, please report any spills or unsafe conditions on the upper level to the Sidonia Department of Public Works. Caution. Subterranean particle detonation imminent.
Nothing's ever. Enhance offers many services. Certainly.
Detonation occurred.
You'd be surprised, I think. There are many dangers. Therefore, the work being done here. I admit. I thought, but I was wrong. I want to keep. Ah, you're probably right.
Particle detonation
Goodbye.
concluded. It is now safe. To resume normal activity.
I'd love to take a vacation. If I had the time. Let me get. Well, that's a relief. You'd be surprised. Happens at least once or twice a week. Sorry. I tend to think the worst, since the overwhelming majority of my patients come here to treat entirely preventable accidents. I know it's my job to help people, and I love doing it, but I do wish they'd be a little more careful down in the mines. I'm Dr. Flynn. What can I do for you today? I've heard of experiments like this. It's possible you have alien DNA sequences in your genome. A standard gene therapy procedure can remap these altered sections of code. It's perfectly safe, assuming you're interested. Take all the time you need. I keep telling myself, next year, it's back to New Atlantis. Out. Okay, one moment. Oh, not good. Okay, I'll get you packed. Well then, off you go. Bollocks. Is that how I come off? Ah, works get. It's always. Well, maybe if you took. Sorry for the I've often wondered, but so that. You know, I've been. You'd think I'd take me own advice. I'd be much happier, for sure. But the truth is, the pay is exceptional here, and all these careless Egypts keep me busy. Well, you're not missing a. See you around. Yes?
Tragedy struck a remote settlement on Cal City.
I got a little bit of everything. Hello, welcome. I've got a little, but that's because I... Ah, yes, it is the accent. I have been asked this before. Do not worry, I take no offense. From a very young age, I spent most of my life among the stars, aboard one ship or another. I picked up many ways of speaking, many languages. Because of this, the way I speak sounds strange to some, but that is the price I pay for knowing all the languages I do. The UC, my employer, they try to furnish my exchange with plenty, but other planets, they need more, so we need to make do with what we get. But me, I have other ways of getting goods to sell, and so I do. I get a little bit of this and that from here and there, and that is how I provide for you and me. You understand? Do I have any good deals, you say? Friendo, I am full of good deals. My prices may be fixed by UC pencil pushers many worlds away, but I may find ways to work with you. For example, I buy things to refurbish and resell. You bring me these, I give you credits, and we make deals. Oh, friendo, You have no idea. You see, not only do I sell goods, why, even now, the ship is out. You could take care of it, then come back to me. You did not find my cargo ship yet, I take it? Take a look. Be safe out there.
In other news, maroon zealots have been sighted in the Moloch, Zosma, Oyan.
Ah, welcome back. Just a reminder. Hey, catch you on the flip side.
The UC Exchange is a
Now,
great
would
place.
like-
Well, these little heat leeches are just lovely. Perhaps we should help Dennis and clear these things. If you're searching them, make it quick. Ever been to Aquila? No security uniform.
Just because the governor's office is right there on the main line.
No rush, but... well, actually, the quicker you find my cargo ship, the better. Oh, no! I hope they did not get into my cargo and ruin anything. As for the crew, I assume dead, yes? That is too bad. Too bad. But you found the ship and its cargo, and that is good at least. I will send someone to retrieve it now that you made it safe. Thank you. Maybe I will have more jobs for you. If you want.
This low gravity will make surface travel. So much easier.
We got a lot of good stuff here. Come take a look. Ah, plenty. Oh, wait. You mean more work from me for you? As a matter of... you know how I have that shh business on the side? Well, I could use some help acquiring more goods to sell. How would you feel about a... Excellent, friendo. I have a buddy who gives me information on where to find renegades throughout the stars. And I will give this information to you. You will go there and get the items I need from them. One thing, though, I don't want to hear details on how you get them. But you will likely need to use force, so be careful. And try not to damage the merchandise.
Journalistic integrity at its finest. SS.
I hear Geppetto has started making real robots.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But Listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. And the things he... So my involvement... That's not an unfair assessment. But what we're doing now, I'm really trying to set some things right here. So you're